Kurosawa's High and Low might be one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite Akira Kurosawa movie, which I guess objectively means that it's his best movie in my opinion, which it is. Police procedural, drama, investigation, kidnapping thriller based on this book called King's Ransom, written by Ed McBain, who did like a series of police procedurals called the 87th Precinct, and is part of that. So it's actually written by an American writer. The book is an American writer, but it's adapted into a Japanese movie, which is really cool.
Yeah, I couldn't find much about the book, but I guess it kind of takes around the similar storyline of, following like some kind of successful entrepreneur. In this case, in Akira Kurosawa's High and Low, Toshiro Mifune's Kingo Gondo, and he plays this big high executive for this shoe company called National Shoes. And at the beginning, we kind of get like a little peek into what's going on in their company. Gondo's very much more of a honorable guy. He likes to have his shoes be more sturdy and have longevity, and he thinks it's better for their company in the long run. And the other shoe execs are against it. They want to get more money quickly. They want to make cheaper shoes, and they want to push these shoes out for less money so they have higher profits. And Gondo, hearing this, he makes a move to, he's already been planning this, to basically buy out the rest of the shareholders and take over the company. In the midst of all this, his son and his friend are outside playing. One of the little kids is kidnapped, held for ransom of ridiculous amount. I don't know how much the money is.
30 million yen or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The kidnapper is demanding this money in exchange for the son. But where the first twist comes in is this kidnapper did not actually kidnap his son. He kidnapped his chauffeur's son. Because they were both playing outside.
Yeah. They were playing outside, and they kidnapped the chauffeur's son.
It's this cool conflict of like, does he pay this money? Even though it's not his child, he was totally ready to sacrifice all this stuff. And granted, he's in debt right now because he took so much money out to try to buy this company that he doesn't have like the means to pay this all off safely. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna lose like a lot if he pays this money. It just creates this like series of events that's so good, and this police procedural that's so fucking interesting. Like the way they break down just all the facts of the case and just how they go about like solving this kidnapping blows me away, dude. It's done so well, and you can tell it's done by someone at the top of their craft.
Yeah, and like what I like about it also is that you think that this is going to be a kidnapping story only, but then like that first half like moves so like it's almost like that first part of the movie could be its own movie. And then it just like keeps going from there, and like it's actually not just a kidnapping movie. It's like when that first half of when they get the actual transaction and shit, and after that they have the whole procedural where they're systematically tracking down where the kidnapper is and like with the money and stuff. And that's what really where the movie like shines and stands out to me, is the whole procedural shit that goes on and the story that's told.
I love how you really don't feel like there's a main character in this. You feel like you're following this storyline with no main character. And you get to know, like, all the cops. You get to know the kidnapper. You get to know Toshiro Mifune, like, character. But there's no main character. And I love how it flows like that. That just makes for such an interesting police procedural.
And it's a commentary on society and high and low.
Yeah, it is.
It's high society and low society.
Yeah, it's very Parasite.
Yeah, it is very Parasite-ish. Yeah, that's true.
The wealthy versus the poor, Damn, dude, this movie slept on.
You think it's slept on?
I think it's slept on, yeah. I think people talk about Seven Samurai, people talk about Akira, people talk about, like...
Rashomon,
Throne of Blood, Ran...
Yojimbo?
Yeah. I mean, he's got so many, but, like...
Sanjuro?
Yes, keep going, dude.
Yeah, like, I mean, out of the ones that I've seen, this is my favorite one for sure, and I think it's also because it's kind of past like that 1950s period. We're in like 1963, so he's like really at the top of his game, and it's like a contemporary modern picture for the time, and it's also it takes place in like. It's not like a samurai movie, which you like period piece, which he's kind of really known for, but it's actually really cool how he does that. And you still get the same sort of themes of like honor. It's almost very these sort of samurai themes about what to do and what to sacrifice, and kind of about like karma and stuff. Because when he decides that he's going to give up everything to save this child, it kind of actually works in his favor because the newspapers start painting him as a good guy. and stuff, and actually like it actually is in his favor, even though it doesn't work out with his company. But then by the end, it actually kind of does. So he actually kind of takes the W. But the thing is, at the end, it's kind of a bittersweet ending because he kind of comes face to face with the kidnapper, and you're kind of like, oh shit, this guy is like feels like he's fucked over and stuff like that. And
but then the kidnapper wants to vilify this guy. The thing I love about Toshiro Mifune in this movie is like he's very much at the beginning like a businessman. He can be ruthless, he can be cutthroat if he wants, but he has his core values. He wants these shoes to be good quality, and he wants to provide something better than what other people can provide to his customers. He has that businessman instinct within him. And so it's like, of course I'm not going to pay for my driver's son, you know?
Yeah.
But then he talks to his wife, and he talks to and he reassesses like his values, you know? And it's like, your money doesn't make you who you are. Like it's your value. Your value comes from like the honor you uphold as a person. And once he makes that shift of, okay, I'm going to pay the kidnapper this money, he's fully on board. There's no backing out of it.
Yeah.
He is certain of his decision, and he goes forward with it. There's something so respectful about that, and everyone else can see that. Even the cops are like, at first I hated this guy, but now we have to find this kidnapper for him because he sacrificed everything in his life.
Yeah, it's very honorable. Like Japanese people are very honorable, and they're very loyal, and loyalty is a big thing, and everything's like based on an honor system besides instead of like a contract system. You know what I mean? Because like in Japan, the ideals are kind of different than America. In America, you sign contracts, but then in Japan, like you don't do contracts, but you're like sworn like loyalty and honor. And if you like break that, then you're like basically banished from the culture because of like you betrayed someone. You're not getting like sued or whatever, but it's all just based on your loyalty to someone. It's very samurai Japanese. And this movie also, I have to commend it for like a movie that's black and white in 1963. It moves really well, and it's not right after the credits. It's like you're in it. Like the whole opening scene where he's talking about the shoes, it's like really interesting. It's like Mad Men, and has that sort of like economic talk in it. It's like it's a really good film.
Yeah.
Masterpiece. Akira Kurosawa's masterpiece, his actual best movie from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Seven Samurai too, but yeah, this movie definitely blows me away. I remember when I first saw this, and I was just taken aback by how cool and how it plays out, you know?
Yeah.
You don't expect that. Just how deep they get with the police procedural, and I love that aspect of it.
And like a lot of people miss out on great art because they just write it off because it's black and white and has subtitles, so they can't they don't want to read it, and they don't want to see a movie in black and white because they think it's like boring or whatever. But this is one of those films where you get sucked into it pretty quickly. It's almost like 12 Angry Men.
It's like when we tried to watch it with Cole, and we're like, dude, this is such a fucking good movie. Let's watch this movie. He's like, oh, does it have closed captions? I can't do that right now.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I gotta eat my pizza. I don't want to have to read while I eat my pizza.
Yeah. Peyton, you should watch this movie.
Whatever, dude.
But he should, dude.
I don't care if Peyton watches it or not. And it just unravels and keeps going and going. And it's really like unexpected when you first watch it, where it goes. And yeah, masterpiece for sure. One of the best Japanese movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
From the master himself, Akira Kurosawa. Akira Kurosawa is the most famous Japanese director, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Him and Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I didn't even think of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hayao Miyazaki, yeah, definitely him. And then like Ozu.
Yeah.